Okay, so today we're going over module 12.1, the triangle proportionality theorem. So here, the objective is students will understand the side proportions between two similar triangles. So we're going to start off with this first one. It says triangle proportionality theorem. So what you need to know here is, first of all, you have two triangles here. So we have, you want that right there. So we have our two triangles. So if you notice, you have a big triangle and a small triangle. So we have this triangle right here. And then we have a bigger triangle, which goes from A, B, C over here. Okay, so two triangles right there. Another thing you notice here is those segments in the middle. These little arrows here, that means parallel. So the proportions we create here are, we make a fraction. So think of it like AE over EB equals, and look on the other side of the triangle. And there we have AF over FC. Okay, and that's how you set it up. Okay, so next one, congruent angles. So again, as long as these two are parallel, we know that angles 1 and 2 are congruent. And then also angles 3 and 4 are congruent. So angle 3 congruent to angle 4. Okay, so that's what we need to do for congruent angles. As long as those lines are parallel, those segments. Okay, so now in this part, we're going to solve for the missing side CY. So CY is right here. So I'm just going to call that X to find the missing side. Okay, so remember, these two go together, and then you put these two as a fraction. So what I set up here is, think of it like you have X over 10 equals, over here, 4 over 9. And what I do next is I cross multiply. Cross multiply, so I multiply these two together, and then these two. So X times 9 gives me 9X. 10 times 4 gives me 40. So then I divide by 9, and I get an answer of X equals 40 divided by 9. So you can just leave that as a fraction, and that's my missing length CY. Okay, example 4. I'm going to solve for the missing side length PN. So PN is right here. So I'm going to call this X to solve for that. So when I set up my proportion here, I'm going to put these two together. So think of it as 3 over X equals, and I put the other two together, 2 and 5 equals 2 over 5. And then all I do now is cross multiply. So I take these two and I multiply these two. So X times 2 gives me 2X. 3 times 5 gives me 15. I divide by 2. These eliminate. I get X equals 15 over 2. Okay, example 5. And I want to solve for the missing side Rn. So for Rn, it's right here. I'm going to call that X. So when I solve for the missing parts, so I'm now going to take these two sides, two lengths on the same side of the triangle. So I'll put that 5 over 8 equals, and I put these two together. And you see how 5 and the x are on the same side? Think of it as x over 10. And I cross multiply here. So I take these two and these two. So x times 8 gives me 8x. 5 times 10 gives me 50. Divide both sides by 8. These eliminate. So I get x equals 50 over 8, which I can reduce this by 2. So I'm going to get 25 over 4, which is my final answer right there. Okay, example 6 is asking us, are the lines MN and KL parallel? So what you have to do here is check these two right here. So I'm going to put 42 over 21 equals, and also I'm going to put these two together, 30 and 15. 30 over 15. Okay, so now I want to reduce. So from here, reduce the fraction. So these right here, I could reduce these by, let's say by 7. So 7 goes into 42 6 times. 7 goes into 21 3 times. Okay, over here I could reduce this by 15. 15 goes into 30 2 times. 15 goes into 15 once. I can reduce this some more here. So 6 divided by 3, this gives me 2. 2 divided by 1 is 2. Since this is equal, so 2 equals 2, we say Mn is parallel to KL. Okay. Example 7 says, are the segments DE and CB parallel? I'm going to take these right here. I'm going to take 18 over 6 equals, I take these two, 24 and 8. So 18 divided by 6, that gives me 3. 24 divided by 8 gives me 3. So these two are the same. So we say DE is parallel to CB. Okay, now example 8. Okay, so on this one, we have this example here. So we have, so this is 20, but it says the whole length is 36. So what I do here, I just take 36 minus 20, and that gives me a 16 right here. On the bottom, I just take 27 minus 15. That's going to give me a 12 right there. Okay, so now when I set up my proportion, so I'll start with these two right here. So I'm going to take 12 over 15 equals, over here I take 16 and 20. So 16 over 20. Okay, now I want to reduce this. So I'm going to divide this by, let's say by 3. So 3 goes into 12 4 times. 3 goes into 15 5 times. Here, divide this by 4. 16 goes into 4 4 times. 4 goes into 20 5 times. So since these are the same, I'm going to say DE is parallel to AB. Okay, so we're done with today's notes.